Hey guys, welcome back to Sparkman Homestead. My name is Krista, and today we have quite a bit of work that we need to get done. I have got a lot of odd jobs that I have kind of been letting slide. My daughter is here visiting, so I haven't been doing my normal today activities, but today you gotta get some of them done. We have quite a bit of eggs piling up. So my hope with some of these eggs is I am going to hard boil some and give them back to the chickens. I am also wanting to make a couple batches of pasta with them, and I am wanting to make Steve some breakfast egg, I don't know, I guess they're little egg muffins. So I'm kind of wanting to get those dealt with. Also yesterday, a super fun thing happened. I was able to contact a local beekeeper in our area, and he actually sells honey by 2-gallon buckets. So I was able to go and pick up a 2-gallon bucket yesterday, but it comes in plastic, and I am not a fan of plastic, and plus this is a huge bucket, so I can't really keep that in my cupboards. So I went out yesterday and purchased some quart glass jars. So today what I need to do is take that honey from there and put it into those jars. And like I said, I also have like a whole bunch of little odd jobs. Like I need to make some more dishwashing detergent. We'll see if we get to it all. But yeah, I thought I would turn the camera on and take you guys with me. It's just gonna be just a kind of modge-podge of different activities are gonna get done today. So I first wanna get started by putting the eggs in some water and doing a float test on those eggs. They have been there for quite some time and I don't know how fresh they are. So I wanna double check because I don't wanna be making an egg dessert and then have cracking open a bad egg. It is not fun and it stinks your house up. So let's get them put in some water and see which ones are good and which ones need to go into the compost bin, or yeah, compost bin I'm gonna try to put them in. I'm just gonna put them in some water, and if they float to the top, they're bad. Now probably most of these are gonna end up standing up straight because like I said, they are pretty old eggs. And I have a lot of them, so I am just going to kind of assess which ones I want to be cooking with and which ones I'm going to boil up for the chickens. I don't know if you can see, but this egg right here, you can see how the bubbles are coming out of it. That one most likely has a crack in it somewhere, so I am going to put that one in, put it in the compost. But the ones that are laying down on their sides, those are perfect eggs. The ones that are kind of straight up or halfway straight up, those ones are ones that are on their way of being bad. For quite some time now, my chickens have actually been molting. We have new layers that we got in April, and they have now just started to lay. So our eggs are starting to pile up very quickly. Now Stephen does bring some in to work for his co-workers, but still, we've been gone so much with car shows lately that I have not had time to really focus and get these dealt with. Usually Mondays I call my egg day. I kind of go through them all and sort through the bad ones, and I usually end up boiling up a bunch for the girls. But again, because we've been gone, I haven't had time to do that. So now they are piling up quite a bit. So I've already got some over there that I am going to boil up, hard boil, and give them back to the girls just for extra protein for them, because I still do have about 3 that are molting, so I want to make sure that they kind of have high protein. But there's quite a bit in here that are on their sides, which is perfect. So with those, I am going to make Stephen that egg breakfast, easy quick egg breakfast he can take to work with him. Plus I do want to get a couple of batches of pasta made since I do have a surplus of these right now. I don't know if I will end up getting to the point of drying it today, but at least I want to get the actual dough made because it does have to rest for a little bit. It usually has to rest for about an hour. So I do want to get that dough made to get these eggs kind of used up, and then that way we can start with a whole new week. I don't like to have more than 2 weeks of eggs preserved, not preserved, 2 weeks of eggs in storage. I'll show you guys actually how I manage them when the eggs come in. This is another bucket over here that I have if I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet because I don't know the dates of those. But my management system that I have is I have egg cartons, and each egg carton has a date or a day written on it. So when I bring the eggs in, I put them in the egg carton that they go with. So today, Thursday, I'm putting them all in the Thursday bin. Tomorrow, I will open up Friday. So these are the 2 weeks worth of cartons that I have here. When these cartons run out, I know that I am definitely behind on my management. One thing that I can get done quickly while I'm waiting for those eggs to boil is I can get my dishwasher detergent made. This is such a simple recipe, and I've been using it now I think for 2 years, and it works amazing with my dishwasher. Every now and then I do put some hydrogen peroxide in the dishwasher to kind of help get water stains off of stuff like this. But again, it works amazing. I just want to say, I do not have hard water here. We are on city water. I wish we were on a well here, but we're not. So keep that in mind if you are making this. I would maybe make a small batch and see how it works with your dishwasher. I just stored in a little container like this underneath my sink, and I just got these little scoops at Hobby Lobby. And so I just take it, scoop it out, and put it in, and again, it works great. I've been using it for 2 years, and yeah, I have saved so much money by making this myself. And it is super, super quick to make. I buy this stuff. What is the official name for it? Washing soda, like Arm & Hammer washing soda, but I think soda ash is the other name for it. I buy mine in bulk from Azure. I found that it was a lot more cheaper to do it that way. Not only that, but my local Walmart, which is where I have to go to get like stuff like this, they were out of washing soda for the longest time. So I got mine from Azure, and now I have a 5-gallon bucket, and then this is a little bit left that didn't fit in the 5-gallon bucket. So it just has, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients in it. It has washing soda, baking soda, which again, I just get like this from Walmart. It has citric acid, which I get from Walmart. Now, citric acid, I know it sounds like it's a scary thing, but it is actually just a citric acid. So it comes from like citrus. So it is a natural product. So it's not any type of acid like it's gonna burn you. I only wear gloves because I have super sensitive skin, and you'll see when I start making it, I actually stir it with my hands, and it irritates my hands because I'm got my hands in a whole bunch of, I think it's actually the washing soda that irritates it, not anything else. Anyways, as a precautionary, because I don't like my hands burning, I wear gloves. It also has just regular plain table salt in it. And then I add lemon extract or lemon essential oil. I add it because I like the lemony smell of it. It just, when I think of clean, I usually think of lemon. So I add some of it in. The original recipe, I believe I got online somewhere. I wish I could link it, but I can't remember where I got it from. I found it and I wrote the recipe down, and it's, like I said, I've been doing it for 2 years, so I don't know who the original poster was. I'm sorry, I can't link that for you guys. But one of the things that I did have written down here was that you can also put rosemary essential oil in it. I don't do that. I just find that the lemon is perfectly fine. The other thing that is with this that you have to do is keep it in an airtight container, because if you don't keep it in an airtight container, it will actually solidify, and then you'll end up having to like stab it to get it broken up. So definitely airtight container is definitely strongly recommended for this. First thing we have to add in here is 1 cup of washing soda. I think I am actually going to double this recipe because I am this is all I have left. So I'm using 2 cups of washing soda, and I'm trying not to breathe it in. And then we need 2 cups of baking soda. So this is just a box that I get at Walmart. I've priced it out with Azure, and this is actually cheaper than buying it in bulk at Azure. It's kind of in a hard block. So it's fine if it's chunky. I'm gonna go through, and again, I just kind of squish it with my hands. Ooh, breathing in all this stuff. Didn't have quite a full cup on my other one, so I'm gonna do a little bit over of a cup on that. And then we want 1 cup of citric acid. Again, doubling it, so I'm gonna do 2 cups. This I do get from Azure, I get in bulk because that is cheaper. You can also use citric acid in canning as well. One, 2. And then we need, I'm just gonna give it a quick little stir first to kind of get this incorporated. Well, try not to breathe it in. Hear bubbling in the background, it's just those eggs boiling. And then we need half a cup of table salt. So I'm gonna add a full cup in. I guess I could have just used that other scoop. Oh well. I don't use any fancy salt for this, just a regular plain table salt you can get in these containers at Walmart. I need to get more salt. Alrighty, we got the other salt, so I'm just gonna add the other half cup. Okay, and give this a stir. I find it's actually easier just to do this with it. It gets the clumps out easier. I just take my hands and mush them around. What I'm gonna do, I have a little bit left over from my other batch. I'm just gonna pour it in so I can mix it all together. And I am going to add about half a teaspoon of lemon essential oil to this. Should be good. And then just mix it all in. I'm kind of stirring this away from my face because I don't want to be breathing this powder in. Smells super lemony. Looks like we have it all incorporated and I'm spilling everywhere. So now I have 2 jars that I use for this, and just put a funnel on them and I just scoop it into the jar. That's what we ended up with, 2 quart-sized jars. I don't know if this is a quart size. I think it is. Maybe it's 2 quarts. Oh, maybe it's a quart. Anyways, we ended up with these 2, so this will last me a couple of months. And when I add all the ingredients up, it really comes to like literally pennies a load. I've bought those Cascade tabs and they are so expensive and full of not such good things. So these are definitely a win for being frugal and for being kind of non-toxic. So I'm gonna get these put away and then we're gonna get started on getting this honey poured into those quart-sized jars. So I opened this last night because I couldn't wait. I had to taste some and it is so good. So this is a local beekeeper and he has hives all throughout our county and counties around us. It is a raw honey and it is so amazing. That color is just so yummy. So we're gonna put them into those jars. Went and got a cutting board so that I can just take the cutting board to the sink after I'm done, because there's no way of avoiding the drips. And I got a spatula also, that will help. Okay, 1 quart filled. I wanted to try to find wide mouth, but I could not find any in the store, so I had to unfortunately go with regular mouth. So I got a washcloth. I'm just going to clean the sides of the jar and the bottom of it. And then we'll get the lid on. 1 quart of honey, amazing honey. I just need to get the bacon out of the freezer. So I think I'm going to make a couple packages. We are actually running very, very low on bacon. And our hog that we processed a couple years ago, we ran out of bacon a long time ago. So we actually just pick up bacon from a local butcher in our area. And I need to go and pick up some more bacon, and I need to go and pick up some more packages of ground sausage, because I want to make some stuffed peppers. But that's not gonna happen today. So I am gonna get these in the oven and get these cooking, so that while they're cooking, I can actually get the pasta started, so that can rest for a while. I also am going to do something really fun today. Because we have a lot of eggs, I am going to attempt to make some marshmallows, because they take, I think it said 8 egg whites. So I thought that'd be fun to do. And then I'm also going to make some hot cocoa mix to go with it, and just leave it in a jar that way, because the weather is starting to get cooler now at night. I like to have hot cocoa as kind of like a dessert. So we will make some marshmallows and hot cocoa while these are cooking and while the pasta is resting. So we need to go back inside to do that. I actually got thinking, I am not going to make those egg things today. I'm gonna let these defrost because they are rock hard. And plus, because I want to make the marshmallows and the pasta and the hot cocoa mix, I thought that I would get these thawing out overnight, and then that way tomorrow the pasta will be ready to make, and then so tomorrow my job can be making these egg things plus getting all of that pasta on the drying rack. We do have an Azure pickup tomorrow, also tomorrow morning, so I am going to take you guys along with me, but that will be a different video. But yeah, so these are actually going to go in the fridge. I have been procrastinating. I need to get this pasta started. So I just have my big container of my flour here. I keep my stuff in food grade buckets. I have little containers in my kitchen, but then I have these big containers in one of my closets because I don't have enough room in my pantry. So because I'm going to be making, I'm hopefully going to be making 3 batches, maybe 4, because I like round numbers. So maybe we'll do 4 batches of pasta, and then I am going to probably end up leaving that in the fridge overnight and then getting it all shaped tomorrow. I am just going to be doing like a linguine style. That's what we like the best. These ones are kind of crushed, but it will end up looking like this. So I just put it on a clothes dryer. Sorry guys, I kind of have you in that position because I want you to be able to see me. I just put it on a clothes dryer and leave it dry for usually 4 to 5 days. then I know it's completely dried out, and then I just end up putting it in a bag like this, and then this is how we eat it. And we love it. It is way, way better than any other type of pasta. So I don't know if I'm gonna get to straightening it out, because that does take a couple hours to do that. So we'll see. We'll see how the day pans out. But it will be fine. If we have to leave it in the fridge overnight, it'll be perfectly fine. So I have some saran wrap out, I have my eggs out, and my flour and water and salt, and that is all you need. I am going to be making it in the food processor because it's way quicker to do it in this. So then once I'm done mixing it all up, I will then put it in some clear wrap, whatever it's, cling and seal, and I will just wrap it up in that, and then I'll throw it in the fridge. Okay, so I need a couple cups of flour. And then some salt. This is just like a super basic egg noodle recipe. Give it a little pulse. Am I plugged in? Oh, this thing has to be locked. Okay, and then I'm gonna add my eggs in here. Because these are eggs that I don't know how super, I mean, we did the water test this morning, the float test, but I am still gonna crack them in this other container because I don't wanna waste all this flour and end up cracking an egg that's gone bad. So we are gonna add 3 eggs to this flour mixture. Look, see, that's the other reason I crack them in a bowl, because sometimes I get shells in them. Now, some of these eggs are really small, so I'm probably gonna have to end up adding water to this. Actually, I have this mammoth egg that I can use. That is crazy. Look at that egg. Huge. I probably actually will not need to add water because that egg was ginormous. So then we're just gonna close it, and we are going to mix it until the dough starts to come together. I don't want a sticky dough. So you see how it's coming together when I do that? So this is perfect. So I am just gonna take this out. Do I want to do this on the plastic? I think I'm gonna do this on the plastic. I know that it looks like a crumbly mess right now, but it is not. I want it to be like a smooth dough, and it needs to be kneaded a little bit. Right, so I kneaded it for probably about 5 minutes. Put it in some plastic wrap, and now I'm just gonna put it into the fridge for the night. Now that I actually did need to add like a little tiny bit of water to it because it was pretty dry still. So I will maybe add it with the next batch. So in putting that into the fridge, I realized that one of these, I don't know where I put them, but one of these oxygen absorbers somehow got into that flour mixture. So I just had to throw that whole thing in the garbage because it broke up in here and it blended it all into that dough. And I don't know, obviously these are poison. You do not want to eat oxygen absorbers, poison. So I had to throw that whole dough out. So let's start again. And hopefully I can make sure that none of these little poisonous packages go into the dough. Oh, good times in the kitchen. Now I'm just sifting through it to make sure that I don't have any in here. Let's try this again. We have to get these egg whites separated. I'm just gonna grab a bowl to put the egg yolks in because we will not be using those. This recipe I actually found on Instagram. Her Instagram page is Hopewell Heights. Again, I've never made this recipe. It's gonna be, it sounded really good. Now she has listed here 2 scoops of gelatin. I don't know what the scoops are because this is the gelatin that I am using. I got it from Azure. It's just a beef gelatin. So I am going to assume and hope for the best that a scoop is a tablespoon and hope that it's not too much. So we are just gonna get those eggs separated. I want the whites in here and I want the yolks in here. And I am just gonna kind of separate them this way. You guys can't really see me up there. I'm gonna try to see if I can actually move you down here so that you can see what I'm doing. No, I'm cut off, but that's okay. So I'm just, oh, we got a double yolker. That makes that, okay, so we have yolk in that now. So I'm just going to put these in here. I can always make scrambled eggs with those. So let's start again. When you're using egg whites, you really don't want any yolk in it at all because it will not really allow them to get stiff peaks if there's any yolk in it. I'm just going to use my hand to kind of get those whites out. And I'm keeping the eggshells close by so that I know how many eggs I've cracked. Okay, so now we have to take these egg whites and we have to beat them until stiff peaks appear. So I can tell we're getting close to it. So I'm just gonna pull, and they are starting to get pretty thick. So I'm probably just gonna whip it for another couple seconds and then it should be perfect. Perfect. Oopsie. It says over stovetop to heat your water up and add gelatin and then whisk in vanilla and salt. I've actually just used my kettle to get water boiling, so I'm just gonna do it in a little measuring cup. So I need to add a 1/4 cup. This one's doesn't have a quarter in there and I don't want to figure it out. So I need to add a 1/4 cup of boiling water into here. And then we're going to add the 2 scoops of gelatin, which again, I hope it's a tablespoon. I don't know. Again, it's an experiment. We'll see. Then it says to whisk this. And then it says to add the vanilla and salt. It does not say where to add the sugar to. So we're just gonna add it to this also, because you have to add a half cup of either maple syrup or powdered sugar. I'm gonna use maple syrup. This is just stuff that I got from Azure. I don't know if there's a half cup in here, so I've got my other one just in case. We are going to add the teaspoon of vanilla. And we will whisk this in. Then it says to add a dash of salt. Now we have to add this gelatin mixture back into the stiff egg whites. And it says to slowly pour it in. I think we added too much gelatin, but... Oh, and it also says that we still need to be beating it. It says to mix until they're fluffy. I'm assuming that this looks fluff. So we need to then add it to a flat bottom dish and refrigerate until set. I'm going to use a, what is this? 11 by 7, 2 quart, 2 liter Pyrex dish. I'm wondering if I should actually put some butter down on this and some powdered sugar just so that they don't stick to this. So let me get some butter. I just got a stick of butter here, so I'm just gonna kind of coat the bottom of the pan with it. Because it just says to pour them in and refrigerate until set, but I'm thinking like they're gonna stick to the pan and make a big mess, and I don't want to do that, so we're gonna try this and see. And then we just have some powdered sugar here, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it on the bottom, kind of like I'm doing it with flour on a, I make like a banana bread, flour the pan, just doing it with powdered sugar. There we go. Pour it in. So that's what it looks like. We are going to put it into the fridge. And my guess is it's probably gonna have to sit in there for at least like 4 to 5 hours. Now I am gonna make some hot cocoa mix. So we need 1 cup of cocoa. That does not. Try not to spill. Okay, 1 cup of cocoa. And then we need 2 cups of powdered sugar. I don't really want to put that back in there. I'm wondering if I want to double this recipe. I think it's fine not to double right now. We'll test it and see how we like it. I don't want to make too much if we don't end up, like, again, this is the first time I'm making this one also. And I don't want to make too much if I don't end up liking the mix. Okay, there's 1 cup. Wondering if I should be sifting this also. 2 cups. And then it says we need 2.5 cups of either powdered creamer or powdered milk. I am using this from Azure, and I'm hoping I have enough. I don't know if I have any more of this in stock, if I've got more. I think I tried to order it and it wasn't in stock. So we'll see. Hopefully I have enough. 1, 2. Oh yay, I have enough. 2.5. Okay. And then 1 teaspoon of salt. And then 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And then we are just gonna whisk these together to get it all incorporated. And then it says to store in an airtight container. So I will get out a mason jar. Whoopsie. I'll get out a mason jar like what we used for the honey. I'll just put it in there. And then when you want to make this, you just use it like any hot cocoa mix. I would imagine it doesn't say like what exactly the ratio is, but with hot cocoa, I usually never end up going off of what the box says. I just kind of, I scoop to what I want to have in there. And then I'll probably end up using hot water to make this and then put a little bit of cream in it. When I get this all incorporated together. Now I should have sifted that powdered sugar because there's some chunks in there. That should be fine. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks like hot chocolate mix you buy at the store. Yummy, I can't wait to try it. So I think what I'm actually gonna do is sift this because there's a lot of like powdered sugar chunks in this and I don't really want that. So I'm just gonna sift it into this bowl. That way I can get all of those chunks out. It can be a more smoother consistency. I don't know if you can see this. I'm gonna show you guys. Like, look at all the powdered sugar chunks in there. That would have not been nice. So I've got a funnel and then a couple quart jars and I'm just gonna give it another little stir. That powdered sugar is kind of all on the top now. Perfect, we got 1.5 jars, so that'll be good for the winter. I realized because I'm out of this, I actually want to go and check my pantry, my back storage pantry. It's just a tiny little shelf in the laundry room. But I want to check my back pantry and see if I have any more of that powdered milk, because if I don't, then I am actually going to probably put some on my order next month at Azure. This is just a little tiny kind of overstock pantry shelf I have. I do need to organize this a little bit more. The bottom part is where I keep all my extra spices, because I keep little tiny mason jars in my kitchen, and then I just keep like my overstock in here. When I run low, I just come in here and refill. But I noticed that I was running low on powdered sugar, and I know that it is buried back in behind here. I actually need to organize this shelf, not today, but I do need to get it organized. And I also, like I said, want to check and see if I have any powdered milk back here, because if I don't, then I'm going to order some from Azure probably next month, because I do like having that on hand for making things like that. It is also perfect if I actually don't have any milk, and I can just use that as a filler in recipes. Here's my powdered sugar. I just keep it in a little tote like this. Buttermilk powder. But I do not have any powdered milk, so that has got to go on the list for next month. Oh, and I also realized that I don't have any more cocoa back there, so I want to get that also on that order, because heading into the winter, I don't like to not have cocoa, because winter time, get down here so you guys can see me. Winter time is when I do a majority of my baking. I don't like to do it in the summer because it's too hot, and I like to eat more like fresh stuff in the summer. So wintertime, plus with the holidays and stuff too, that is like my prime baking time. So I need to make sure that I am stocked up on all of my baking goods, because I don't like to be in the middle of making a recipe and then finding out that I don't have any more cocoa and my recipe calls for it. So when it comes to that kind of stuff, I always make sure that I have more in my back pantry. And because we just quickly went through it trying to get this stuff, I've just seen that those two things I don't have extra of. So always make sure I have extra. Put away now. I also completely forgot to show you guys what the marshmallows turned out like. So that is them, and this is the hot cocoa. Super, it is actually really good. I just tried it, I gotta stir some more in, but it was not too much gelatin. They turned out good. I think next time I make them, because I will make them again, but next time I make them, I will use powdered sugar and not maple syrup, because they have kind of a molasses taste to them, which I think it's the combination of like the egg whites and the maple syrup. I'm not sure. But anyways, they turned out yummy, and I'm going to now go and enjoy a cup of hot cocoa with some marshmallows. Anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. So I hope you guys have a good day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.